Party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street. We're Jameson with Games. Happy. Oh, hey, I didn't. You might have guessed by the fact that I'm starting 1 hour later than the schedule said. I'm scrambling right now. I didn't fix the font. Hello, Cedric. Boom, your message will disappear, but the next message to appear will be in the font that I've been using. Apologies for the lighting today. I've discovered, I'll keep trying. Been having problems. The button, the power button for one of my ring lights, like caved in a while ago. Like the rubbery part on top of it with the symbol kind of has just gone away. And now it seems like I can get it to flicker like lightning. I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but it won't turn on. So I'm going to be lit very well from one side and not at all from the other. Whew. Yeah, apologies again. I would look you in the eye and I would swear to you that I had changed the schedule on Twitch to reflect that I would be starting a bit late today. In fact, I was saying to Danielle when I got home from the event, the Professional Development Day, where I gave a speech to young engineers about developing their social skills for professional success, and also just because it's actually good to be a nice person who other people like and to feel comfortable talking to other people that are different from you and all that kind of stuff. I was saying to Danielle that I underestimated. I should have thought of it, and I didn't. And I thought that I had made the thing set to start at 3:15. And I was saying I didn't even pull that off because I forgot to account for the fact that after I finished giving the talk, just like every time I teach a class, students would cluster around me and pepper me with questions. But fortunately, there was a panel discussion to be held 20 minutes, 30 minutes after my talk. So at a certain point, the organizer came over and said, thanks, but could you shut up and go away? And I was like, yes, I need to shut up and go away. So this is working for everybody. Come on, let's try it again. No. All right, I got to buy a new... PJ, welcome. Looks like I'm going to need to buy a new ring light just to... Even though the ring light itself is fine, but the power button is broken. Can't turn it on. So what good is it that the light itself seems to work just fine? Frustrating part is that my dear friend Robert is a bit of an electronics wizard. But he almost never ever does anything or socializes. I've rarely seen him since his son was born. So probably he's not going to come out of hibernation or out of seclusion just to do me a favor to save me like $50 on a new ring light. Well, life will go on. So here we are. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope everyone is well. I'm very, very well today because I'm excited. Can't say for sure it's going to happen. There's a pretty good chance that we're going to beat King's Quest 6 today. Okay. Can I at least get myself to look a little less shiny? There. Only by being even more dimly lit can I achieve that. Oh, door behind me is open. Better shut that. I should have just... Well, I hope so. Working on your taxes? Or is that just a random observation? I can't do my taxes yet because my employer will certainly not be publishing tax information for us until pretty much hey, congratulations. Never get I'm not going to get my T4 from my employer until pretty much the last moment that they are legally allowed to delay sharing it with me. I'm not looking forward to doing my taxes this year because I've claimed 3 different income streams. It's more complicated. Last year, it was just 2, And really, it's, I have a job, and that one's really easy to report. And then I make some money, a very small amount of money, as a Twitch streamer. And that's not too hard to report either. It is substantially more complicated to also report the freelance work that I was doing. How complicated, I don't even know, because I haven't had to do it yet. But I guess I'll find out soon. Okay. Here we go. King's Quest 6. Heir today. Gone tomorrow. I bet. No, I did. I did click the thing down. This is very loud for me. But should just be normal for the folks at home. Okay. I've got my manuals open, although I'd be surprised if there's another copyright protection type check to be done. But just in case, I've got it ready. I'll open up my note sheet, but full disclosure, I've hardly written a note for King's Quest 6. I mapped the labyrinth, and that's all I've done. Because the way it's designed, this is a very tight game design. And part of that is that because it takes place on a series of small islands, it's pretty easy to remember what things are where and all that kind of stuff. So it hasn't been necessary to have a map in the same way, 48 or whatever. I think. No, never mind. I'm just hearing Danielle because her friend is here. I thought she was calling me. Okay. Well, here we go. Is this really? Yes, this is the active save because when last we left Prince Alexander, he had returned from the depths of Hades, of the underworld, having saved the spirits of Cassima's parents, restored them to the world. So they've been taken directly My only weakness is people who can guess my middle name. And you have to look up the biography of Alhazred in the manual. I guess we'll see. So yeah, here we are. Right back where it all started on the Isle of the Crown. But a big question remains for me, which is do I need, is there something to do? Yeah, like why not? I guess maybe it's just, it's tiring for the nightmare to carry 3 people, but like, come on. Prince Alexander's going to play a pretty important role in foiling this marriage, this wedding. Why not give us all a ride directly to the palace? It's okay. We have a plan. We have an idea. I'm actually going to need to review that idea. Here in the old spell book, the magic paint spell. I need a cup of swamp ooze, river Styx water, and a black horse feather. Right. Okay, they covered that possibility. Now do I have a cup on me? I know that I got the Styx water. Right.
The little china teacup is made of fine porcelain. The teacup contains water from the river Styx.
Yep. You can really hear how they stitch together 2 separate lines of dialogue so that they had the default description of the teacup and then and the Styx water's in there. And they probably should have delayed just a millisecond or 10 longer between playing both of them, so it actually sounded like the narrator knew there was a period at the end of the sentence. Did I say hello, Clef? If I didn't, hello, Clef. Oh, so it's a rotating series. Okay, yeah, geez. Well, you know what? End of the day, Uh, they did a much better job than Final Fantasy X at dialogue queuing. It's one of the things I remember the most about playing Final Fantasy X is that it just did not seem to me like the voice actors were ever asked to say more than one sentence at a time, or that they were even like given all the sentences, and that they knew what the next sentence would be. And that's not on the voice actors. It's a game where, I mean, there are some stilted line readings, but most of the individual lines are fine, but they never come together into sounding like natural human speech. Well, here's one thing that's clear. We need swamp water. Because I don't know this, but I strongly suspect that the use of the magic paint spell will be to paint a door on that castle wall that we can go and stand beside and nothing has ever happened on that screen. And then Roadrunner-like go through it. We need swamp water.
Pulls out his magic map.
And I know just where to find a swamp. Let's head back.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
To the Isle of Wonder. Get that strange pulling sensation going. So yeah, we saved Cassima's parents, including the lovely Queen Ilaria. Augurs well. Not that, looks are not everything. I'm not trying to say that. Yeah, I guess there's another thing too, right? Is just that they're not going to resequence. At least I don't know what they do now. I think it's quite possible now that big game localizations do involve some resequencing, maybe of the lip movements. But yeah, you would absolutely have that situation where they're like watching it and trying to say it. Yeah, just do it Italian style, like an Italian movie. Shoot the whole thing silent. Later on, have the actors say it. Some of them weren't even speaking Italian when they said their lines, and they're not the ones saying the line even. So maybe just maybe, this stick in the mud is going to be like, hey, you're taking my swamp water. Because like, why is there an anthropomorphic stick in the swamp that I've just not been able to figure anything out with? I don't know. But here we go. Yeah, a big thing for Alexander that he needs to keep it, he's got to be careful now when he finally meets Cassima and they get to talk more. Not, he's met her before, but when they're reunited, because it's like, fair Cassima, I have saved I've traveled to the underworld to save your comely mother. Your mother. I just said mother. You got to be careful there. We got to.
What do you think you're doing?
You startled me. I was just getting some swamp ooze.
Well, you certainly won't get it there! That's not swamp ooze! That's swamp slime!
He's right, But he could be a little nicer about telling you. He's not a very pleasant stick in the mud.
Nobody asked you! Be quiet!
This is awesome.
Oh, the trials of being a mere bump on a log.
Okay. So, let's just make sure.
The little china teacup is made of fine porcelain. The teacup contains water from the river Styx.
Great. I felt like this game would play fair and not be like, oh, you've ruined the Styx water, Alex. It's full of swamps. Okay, so first of all, a few comments on that little scene. Ooh, there's a thought. But yeah, first, excellent work. Oh, nice. Yeah. The stick, the voice actor did a great job. Broadly speaking, I think Jane Jensen did an incredible job with the script. But I think instead of he's not a very pleasant stick in the mud, the bump on the log should have just said he's a real stick in the mud. But otherwise, this was fun. Okay, so will you help me? Do I need to throw a tomato at
The
you?
swamp gurgles an inaudible reply.
I'm not trying to talk to the swamp, Mr. Narrator.
Perhaps you could toss me some swamp ooze, since you seem to be able to recognize it.
That's
I
true.
can only
That's
reach
fair.
this bit by the path.
Well, hoity-toity, look who's Mr. Wants so much. You think I got a job here passing around precious swamp matter? You should be so lucky.
He's an utter waste of oxygen. I'd save my breath if I were you.
All right. Come on.
Perhaps I can help you out by throwing a rotten tomato at Stick in the Mud for you.
Really? I appreciate the gesture, but the swamp is broader than it looks. Only a native like myself would be able to hit him from here.
What? Okay, I mean, sure, whatever. But what the hell are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. You don't
Who
even
are
have
you?
arms.
I'm Bump on a Log, and that's my brother, Stick in the Mud. We've had this thing about each other ever since our childhood. Mom always liked me best.
She did not! That is absolutely not true!
He's a bit lazy, you see. He's got the only swamp ooze in the swamp right next to him. But do you think he'd move a finger to help you get some? Hardly. He'd try to brain you with it more than likely. His temper's about the only thing that ever gets a workout, and that on yours truly.
Oh, like you've moved at all in the last century! Like you're Mr. Physical Activity!
Just because I can't reach anything, he thinks he can throw gushy swamp matter at me and just say whatever he likes. If only I could turn the tables on that heckler, he might learn some respect. But as you can see, I'm a mere bump on a log and must be content with my lot.
Oh, shut up! You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn even if you had something to throw! Just shut up!
You see how he is?
Try it a few more times. She's not coming on the ring light. Oh well. Especially, like, one part of this problem I can solve myself in a couple minutes. I'm just not going to do it now. Which is that if my working ring light was not the ring light by the window, but instead was the one on the other side. Probably get some balance there. But okay. Okay. Let's keep trying with the rotten tomato for a moment.
There's no reason to leave that lying about on a log.
Is there a second?
Alexander decides to throw rotten tomato at Stick in the Mud himself.
Oh.
Help! Help! I'm melting!
Uh-oh.
Gee, great arm you got there.
Yeah, great arm. You said it, Stick.
Gee, Bump, did we just agree on something?
Why, you're right, Stick. We did.
Is that Jerry Lawler?
You know, he's even
Clef?
more worthless than you are, Bump.
Is that Jerry Lawler
I'm
laughing?
sorry I'm so mean to you sometimes.
You mean it, brother?
Brother.
Stick in the Mud and Bump on a Log, having reconciled at Alexander's expense,
Huh.
fall into a lazy sleep. Unfortunately,
From a distance.
Alexander never did get his ooze.
That was nice. Unfortunately, we have to undo it. Maybe my... and of course, I haven't saved it all. Perhaps my strongest critique of this game is that what part of the cursor is the pointer really isn't very well communicated.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
And like, I can understand why that's hard. Because like with a finger,
Alexander feels a strange pulling
it's got
sensation.
a pointer. They call it the pointer finger. Because you took the hint the first time and you didn't just, when Bump on the Log literally told you can't do it. But yeah, a little cursor arrow, just a little like just a colored dot. There's lots of things you probably could do. I guess they wanted to maintain the graphical integrity of their lovely cursors. Well, Swamed. That's definitely not what I meant to type. I guess it's not important. And yet. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if I can get the sludge.
What would
in.
a dogwood?
I'm not trying to click on the
That part of the
dogwood.
swamp is out of...
What do you think you're doing?
You startled me. I was just getting some swamp ooze.
Well, you certainly won't get it there. That's not swamp ooze. That's swamp
Especially good reading on there.
You know. But he could be a little nicer about telling you. He's not a very pleasant stick in the mud.
Nobody asked you. Be quiet.
Oh, the trials of being a mere bump on a log.
Okay. Let's see.
Perhaps I can help you out by...
I guess I don't need to listen to that again. Okay.
There's no reason to leave that lying about on a log.
That's true.
There's no reason...
Ta-da.
I thought this might come in handy the next time your brother starts picking on you.
Aha! Finally, old Bump on the Log's not so defenseless, is he?
Hey,
I was
what you
wondering,
doing there?
how's he gonna
Watch
throw
the
this?
pump, would ya?
Now, Bumpy, remember all I've given you? The only thing you've ever given me is mud. Take this.
No! Not into the swamp!
It is kind of cruel to Rotten Tomato. Oh, sweet. And hopefully...
Okay, I give up. Geez, sorry.
Well, I guess it's not very pleasant having things thrown at you. I'm sorry.
You mean it? Really? Brother.
Brother!
Stick in the mud and Bump on a Log, exhausted from the battle, immediately doze off into naps. Rotten Tomato, being equally lazy, decides to join them.
Okay. We mended the relationship. The battle. It's true. That is a great description of them childish. Two of them pelting the other one. I guess he did fire the opening salvo when he threw the tomato. Stick in the mud as a friend. So does Rotten Tomato. You know, until he biodegrades. But at least he didn't. At least he landed close enough to the emerging rock that he didn't drown in the swamp this time, because that was kind of a horrifying aspect. Who knows how helpful that could have been in King's Quest XII, when Alexander must avert a catastrophic war between the kingdom of Daventry and the kingdom of Serenia or something.
Alexander fills the teacup with the swamp ooze.
Come on, Alex. I kind of thought he would, scrape it off of the bump. So anyway, I don't know. Hopefully he's okay. 164 points. But as we know, the closer you get to the end, the more it kind of snowballs. But okay. Let me give this a little bit of thought. I feel like we've absolutely thoroughly engaged with the chessland and definitely with the pun garden. Now I finally feel like we've dealt with the swamp in a way that respects the economy of notable graphics. I can't think of anything to do with the spelling bees, so I think they're hopefully just graphical embellishments. On the Isle of the Beast, we've gone all out. Same with the Isle of the Mist. Same with the Isle of the etc. So I am, while leaving a save just in case I'm wrong, I think maybe we can take a chance. I will be interested in knowing more about the path I'm not on, but not just yet. Let's fill me in when it occurred to me, because I've been like really confused about the fact, like things in this, like nothing in this game stuck in my mind except Alexander's coat. And the more and maybe that there was a Minotaur, but I think that's probably just because it's on the box art. And then I felt especially confused last week.
Alexander pulls out his magic
because
map.
it was like, why would the Land of the Dead, a very, very compelling segment of the game, how would that not have left any impression on me? But now I'm thinking that very well could be, not that I'm misremembering that me and my buddy beat this game, but that me and my buddy beat this game on the path where we did not find the magic book. And so we did Alexander in drag. By the way, I had no luck. I have not found a picture of what Alexander looks like in drag. I didn't want to Google that hard. But I didn't manage to with the search terms that I used. I'll use this one. It's time to raise our objections. If anyone knows a reason why these two should not be wed, I can think of several. Okay, well, let me verify. What do I gotta do? Sticks water to the swamp ooze, stir with the horse feather, and then paint it and speak the incantation. We'll just have to trust that Alexander will intuitively paint a door on a wall. If he doesn't, the moral is simply that I was wrong about what he needs to paint. I need to think some more.
Alexander dips the large black feather into the teacup and stirs the contents gently.
Ooh.
To his amazement, the jet black color of the feather slowly drains from end to tip into the teacup. The teacup mixture blackens and thickens to a paint-like consistency. Alexander carefully puts it away, discarding the drained feather.
So, if the paint is black, I feel even more strongly that we're going to paint a tunnel, a doorway. 165. So that's what, 35, 31, 67, 66. Points to go. Welcome, Jimbo616. I also, at least in the one time I've experienced it, which is me doing it right now, I love streaming this classic. I've been making my way through the King's Quest series, Alexander has superb balance and posture. He must. And packing skills. Because some of it is about, like, he's arranged his things in his pockets in such a way that they're supporting the teacup. Maybe he's created a little artificial lid. He's doing something right. Yeah, I've been making my way through. The only other adventure games I've done to date on this stream, because I started out just doing mostly classic RPGs, at least on the weekends. We do other stuff here. Me and my buddy Greg play beat 'em ups every Tuesday evening. We've played, at this point now, 42. And we have 96 to go before we've played all of them. Through 1993. And me and my friends play Frosthaven on Fridays when it works out, which doesn't always. But on the weekends, I was mostly just doing RPGs, but then I did Quest for Glory as an RPG adventure hybrid. And I still have Quest for Glory 5 to go, and that's coming up whenever I finish Ultima Underworld 2 on Sunday. And it's just, it's been great. The King's Quest games loomed large in my mind as a kid because I thought adventure games are very cool. And King's Quest 5 in particular was kind of like the really famous kind of lodestar of the genre in the early 90s. This was the only one I actually beat as a young person with my buddy. And it just like bounced completely off my brain. So it's just been like, not like a trip down memory lane, but like just forming new memories that I somehow failed to the first time. And it's amazing that I didn't, because this game is incredibly good. This is definitely, I think, the best King's Quest game so far. And the general sense I get of the reputations is that 7 is good, but it's probably not held by most people to be better than this one. And 8 is, I guess I'll find out. Taking a look at my items. I have the Fake Your Own Death tincture. I have a handkerchief.
Alexander is carrying the Mother Ghost's translucent handkerchief.
Right. To give to the lost spirit of her son. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's not close, because I loved King's Quest 3. Here's what I would say is not close. Who stars in the best King's Quest games? It's Prince Alexander. And that's no shade to Rosella, because I enjoyed the Perils of Rosella, and I'm looking forward to seeing her tag team with her mom in The Princeless Bride, King's Quest 7. And no shade to King Graham. But at least some. Because, yeah. No. Perhaps someday. But so far I've only played I don't think the literal original versions. But like whatever version would have been on like a collection that they published in the early 90s. So like probably like a revised 1988 version of the original King's Quest. And the second one and third one. I love the third one. In the fullness of time, maybe I'll play some fan games. Cool. I gotta keep that, barring unforeseen disaster, this has been a great hobby for me to not just play video games, but play them in a structured way with an audience or a crew hanging out. It's kind of like a little bit of both here on Twitch. So, yeah, I'll definitely be playing more Sierra adventure games, and in the fullness of time, gotta check out the LucasArts ones. And then, is there a third company that made a really well-regarded adventure game? Okay, but yeah, so I've got the handkerchief. So if I meet a young ghost, gotta give this to him. Stench flower I've used before, but it didn't disappear from my inventory, so maybe it comes up. I don't think I've used this knife. Or dagger. The paintbrush I'm about to use, I believe. The fainting tincture. We used the teapot. It's not even a teapot, it's a lamp. But it's shaped, it's teapot-esque. Oh ho, very cool. I would be I mean, I'm a technical writing teacher. I would probably enjoy writing a FAQ or a walkthrough. But that's also like I got to become an expert in some game that is not that well known, and that's harder and harder as time goes by. I don't think I've used the ribbon yet. I've used the scythe, but I still have it. We have the skeleton key. Obviously, there's a spell left to cast. And I've got the love poem. Okay. One thing is nagging at me. Okay. After all this buildup, I'm just going to... I thought of a thing that I ought to do in the spirit of... Often in this game, it has seemed that some things, until you're ready for them and you've tripped the right flags, you have the right things in your inventory, the opportunity's not there. I think most likely, the way things are going, that, I'm being funneled. Oh, cool. Like the film they were watching, or like he did a guest spot where he was antagonizing the character, the MST 3K characters themselves. Nice.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
In like, he looks different now. But in like the early 2000s, Robbie Benson looked like exactly what you would expect the guy who voiced Beast to look like. And by that, I don't mean that he looked like
Alexander
what Beast
feels
looks
a
like.
strange pulling sensation.
Maybe that's the thing I do someday. Play a bunch of the different fan games and then wade into controversy by saying which ones are good. Oh, neat. Man, Grim Fandango, and maybe I should try it again. That was a game that like I was intrigued by at the time in the 90s when it came out, never played. And then I got it on my Switch or on my PS4 in a remastered version. And it just bounced off it so hard. Just
The way north is blocked.
right. Can't go north. I'm just thinking, what if the ghost appears in one of the... I think probably the ghost will come up in the end game. Oh. We get to hear the very, very cool druid music. One more time. So I'm just going to retrace... I'm just going to quickly walk through the screens
Alexander pulls...
of the different areas just to feel mildly confident at least. Very generous. Yeah. I wonder if that was an argument that Jane Jensen as co-designer won. I know it's not realistic, Roberta, but it's kind. That's true. That's true. I can't think of any reason why... Well, actually, I can think of a reason why a servant ghost would appear on this screen. But he's not going to. Okay. Why am I... I'm not actually 100% confident that I'm looking for the ghost of a servant. Anyway, I'm looking for the ghost of someone's son. And probably that'll come up in the end game when we go into the castle. But just to be sure, because if possible, it's nice to get as many puzzle points as you can. That's all well and good.
Pulls out his
But
magic
more
map.
importantly, you want to help people in need. That's the whole idea. I'm playing as a hero.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Okay. Maybe once I'm, maybe the world of King's Quest fan games is something I'll descend into once I've made my way through the series proper. Although there's going to be a brief diversion on Saturdays. Well, actually, I don't know how brief it'll be. Might be a couple of months. But I've been wanting for a while. Huh. Well, I'm very glad that
Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, I've never actually waited long enough for Alexander to suddenly... Yeah. Fortunately for me, I also forgot that I remembered the bookshop owner's name was Ali, but I forgot that they had used the name for the first time.
Somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
Can we go in here, Alex? Can you stick your hand in there?
Alexander crawls through the small opening in the rock. Alexander finds himself in a dark cave.
Wow. Was not expecting this. Great minds, Cedric and Jimbo. And a separate great joke. PJ. So, well, probably this is a you should have brought the tinderbox, Alexander, kind of situation, but let's find out.
Alexander can't do much of anything in the dark cave.
Okay. Well, I know a faster way to get back and get the tinderbox. Yeah. Quite possibly another argument that Jane Jensen won.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Hello, my friend. Could I exchange the magical paintbrush that I will be back for shortly? For your tinderbox?
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
He'll be able to report back to Alhazred.
I believe
Prince
I'll take
Alexander
the
once
tinderbox.
again has a tinderbox in his
Very
possession.
good, Prince Alex. Enjoy your tinderbox and bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
Objectively harmless in the pawn shop. And in all other situations, objectively trying to cause Alexander harm. Okay, and then, of course, the question arises in my mind. How could someone with such shiny eyes be a bad person? What if I need a different kind of lantern that I can light?
Old lamp!
Excuse me, peddler.
Yeah,
But I have an old lamp.
and it's
that
not
I
even just
can
that.
purchase.
I'm kind of chaotic and reckless with which ones I replace.
Old lamp, and what a nice traditional design too. Take your pick of my new lamps.
Okay.
One of the lamp seller's lamps is squat and red with a corked top. One of the lamp seller's lamps is a small green metal lamp. The handles on either side of the lamp remind Alexander of a sugar bowl. One of the lamp seller's lamps is long and narrow. It's open at either end like a lantern and is made of flowered blue paper.
Yeah.
One of the lamp seller's lamps looks quite similar to Alexander's hunter's lamp, but is shiny and new.
I guess I kind of
Its
feel
spout is only
I have
golden,
enough
unlike
saves
Alexander's
that even
lamp,
if I'm
and is
saving over a
flugged
few of
with
them now and
brass.
then, if I need to revert, if it comes to that,
One of the lamps is made of blue-colored glass and has a tall, thin neck and a cork-like cap. One of the lamp seller's lamps has an open oriental style and is made of decorated papered fabric.
I was thinking maybe I'll need a lamp. Stupinski, welcome. Happy Saturday. Seems like it might be wise to swap out, now that I'm done with the new lamp, swap it out. All right, done with the old lamp, swap it out, get one of the new ones. But I still don't have any idea why I would want any particular one of those lamps. Will the lamp seller... Ooh. I was actually just thinking today. Haven't got a Stempinski tabletop update in a while. And I also don't have an update. And yet tomorrow, playing Numenera. So perhaps next weekend, we'll both have a tale to tell.
Alexander pulls... Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
And Numenera has been pretty fun. It gives me the impression that probably like you can get a lot of world building stuff to use from its various source books, but also the general shape of the world is very much a like, yeah, there's a bunch of cool shit that's kind of like sci-fi and kind of like magic. So it's whatever you want.
Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
So when I named this save, I'm realizing now I did it. I missed the boat. I missed what I was going for, because Roberta Williams famously was inspired to become a game designer by the Colossal Cave adventure. Is that what that game's called, or is it just Colossal Cave? Oh no, her remake is just called Colossal Cave, but I think the original is called Colossal Cave Adventure. And instead, I typed the Great Cave Adventure, which I think is actually the name of one of the various games in Kirby Superstar for the Super Nintendo. But what's done is done. The Great Cave Offensive. All right, so I was just mashing it up. That makes a lot of sense, Stempinski. Not only as a way to...
finds himself in a dark cave.
That is a brutal, brutal Smash Bros. Level. Not only for the sake of like, experiencing new things and stuff, which is... before it worked out, I was a little concerned that was what was was going to happen to me when I clicked and Alexander went over.
It feels exactly like a tinderbox.
Oh, right. Okay.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Ooh, nice lighting effects on Alexander here.
Alexander crawls through the opening in the rock.
Can't crawl through the opening in the dark.
The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, it's not actually a lighting effect so much as it's just an animation they drew on his sprite, but it was very lovely. In fact, in the Quest for Glory games too, it like the impression of lighting has been a really, really notable part of the art. Because those games have a day-night cycle. So both in like EGA, in...
The window in the rock is too small for Alexander to fit through.
Okay.
A plant grows on the grassy ledge. Smells like peppermint.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Stimpinski. It might be like a weird fusion where it's like a spiritual successor to Planescape Torment. I can't remember.
Alexander
Well,
takes a few leaves from the plant.
Some mint
As he
leaves.
does so, a strong smell of peppermint is released. Ah.
169.
Alexander is standing in a second room of the cave. A natural window to the outside world provides a little more
They
light.
tossed the voice actor
It
a
helps clear
peppermint
the musty smell.
just at that moment to get to really get the feel for how nice it is to smell some
Alexander is
peppermint.
standing in a second room of the cave.
I'll
A
say this
natural
about mint,
window
though.
to the outside
Peppermint,
world
very good.
provides a
Spearmint,
little
very
more
good.
light here, and even helps clear the musty smell.
But wintergreen is the best mint, and it's not close. Okay, well, one can imagine applications of the mint leaves
Alexander crawls back into the first room of the cave.
to the task of saving the day.
Alexander can't see a thing.
I had a feeling
Alexander crawls back through the passage to
that
the
I could
top
leave
of the
with
cliffs.
really kind of. I guess they want to give you as many opportunities as possible to interact. Oh yes, wintergreen. I'll stick with my hybrid title. Okay. So then the question becomes,
Alexander climbs carefully down the long face of the logic cliffs.
it's just like bypassing magical traps. It's in his nature to just unceremoniously and without thinking about it
Alexander
plummet to
climbs
his own
carefully
death.
down the long face of the logic cliffs.
Oh, that makes sense. I think you did, Clef. Oh, no. That's funny. That's fun. I'm too excited to keep going, though. So I'm just going to recognize in my heart how funny that must be. Okay.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
We gotta go back to the pawn shop for at least one reason.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
But then a big question in my mind is whether, because the mint leaves kind of seems like it's going to be part of overcoming Alhazred's mint-obsessed bodyguard. But do I do that by just making sure he's not even there for the wedding, or is that going to be at a pivotal moment during the wedding? I guess we'll find out together. We definitely need that paintbrush. That much is clear.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
I need to get the next step in the ergonomic setup here. And really kind of a thing I should have done a long time. I need one of those office footrest things. Because I've noticed I started, my knees started bugging me. And partially I thought like, oh, well, 38 years old. Like, it's just time for my knees to hurt all the time. But then I remembered that actually my knees used to hurt all the time, and I discovered it was because I was constantly sitting. When I was sitting on office chairs, I was putting my feet on the legs underneath the chair and like keeping my knees in a tension point. If I had one of those footrests, I could stop myself from doing that without needing to constantly be consciously doing it. Okay, well, hopefully.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in
British.
exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
Welcome. One thing I'll say, Jimbo, is that I try not to be one of those, like your friend starts going to the gym and then all they want to talk about is how everybody needs to be lifting.
I think I'd like.
But oh man, yoga changed my life. I am way more flexible now as a 38-year-old as I ever was as a 28-year-old.
Well, feel free to bring back the brush at any time.
Thank you.
Ooh, things are going well in Britannia. Oh, I see. Wait, Stimpinski's talking to British. But in Britannia, things are coming together for the Avatar. I disrupted several more places of power last week, and then beat one more Lish in Precorlus Tomb, but not the final one. But I think I can beat the final one. It's just I can either go back, do some level ups, and probably beat her fair and square. But I think I can also just beat her if just the random number generator smiles a little more kindly on me, because it was very close. I'm nowhere as close to beating Drogar or whatever his name is. It's not Drogar. It's not Dagwood. Well, I did figure out part of the, I don't know if it even counts as cheesing, but if you can back her in, there's a certain hallway when you're fighting the final Lish that if you can back her into it, it's really the only place where you can reliably do the hit her, back out of range, come back into range and hit her technique. And so I've got that part locked down. I'm going to need I'm still not even landing hits on the dude who's, it's bugging me that his name won't come back to me. But I still haven't landed hits on the guy in the pits. Yeah, my back is mostly pretty good as long as I let myself get really badly out of shape last fall. But I've always had an absurd metabolism and it's still kind of hanging on for me. For the first time in my life, getting out of shape meant that I gained weight. I used to, if I got out of shape, I just start wasting away. My muscles disintegrated, and it's not that I didn't put on some body fat, but not enough to compensate for just the lack of muscle mass. And then, I've turned the corner on that, which wasn't ideal. But after getting back to just trying to do yoga most days in the new year, the part of my metabolism where I recover pretty quickly is still there, which is lovely. But I'm ever cognizant, I'm running out of time to establish a lifestyle where the fall semester doesn't just knock me on my ass and I go out of shape. I cannot keep deconditioning and reconditioning once a year for that much longer before it's just not hitting the same way. So wait, when do I speak the incantation? Oh man, I miss having sports. Oh, very good, Clef. Very good. Lorianne Cole herself would be proud of you for that one. But yeah, I miss sports. I miss when it was at all plausible for me to get enough friends together that we could be like, let's play some pickup soccer or some ultimate frisbee or some basketball or something. Because I really enjoy yoga, but then oh, well, then I will have to I'll take up the charge for Prince Alex. Okay.
To paint something, Alexander must first choose a location where he wants to paint. The paint can then be used on that location.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just look one more time what the spell says. Oh, apply to blank surface with the brush. Okay. And then do the incantation. Paint a door.
Feeling artistically inspired, Alexander decides to make use of the large blank castle wall. A doorway. Just what Alexander was thinking this wall needed.
Artistically inspired, but just a bit. Like, he was not inspired to like put a doorknob on it, try to get some wood grain effects going with the brushstrokes. It's a very utilitarian form of inspiration. That's true, but still. And you know, he's okay. Magic paint, black as ink, bring to life what I think, make it real what I draw, according to this spoken law.
With trepidation, Alexander gathers his strength for the enchantment of the painted door.
Alexander's a very handsome young man, except from that one angle.
Bring to life what I think, make it real what I draw, according to this spoken law. The spell worked. The door has magically solidified.
Not just rhyme, but meter, Stipinski. Maybe that's a sound card thing, Clef. Like maybe it's if we were emulating a Roland or if we were emulating whatever instead of whatever it's set to, which is just the default. I didn't do any tweaking. Maybe it cuts off if it can't play multiple tracks at a time. All right. Here we go. Is it... I'm trying to think. I don't think it's quite proper to say that that haiku like, does haiku have meter? Is it meter to just say there's this many syllables, this many syllables? Perhaps in a Japanese poetic sense, it is.
Eager to be inside the castle at last, Alexander opens the enchanted door and steps inside.
I wrote a haiku sequence once about my ex's cat.
Back into the wall. So much for an easy
just
exit.
Describing him going out and then finding a spot in the sun on the front lawn to lay down in and bask. And then it closed with something like, you know, he's a piece. Yeah, we'll do a new one now that we're in. In fact, why don't I? A brand new one. Why not? Look around, Prince Alex. What do you see?
There's a strange
anyway,
door on the
so
west wall. There doesn't appear to be any
it prophetically, it turned out literally the cat Misty, who was a very old cat. This is not like a horrible, like it's sad because we love Misty, but it was actually kind of beautiful. That was exactly how he passed away. He wasn't like sick for a long time or anything. He was just very old, and one day it was a beautiful summer day, and he went out and he laid down basking, and he just went to sleep.
The footsteps are headed this way.
We should all be so lucky, you know. Oh, they're coming this way. Let's go in this room then.
Alexander opens the dungeon door and slips inside.
Thank you for...
Alexander hears the guard dog leave the basement. It seems he's safe enough for the moment.
Okay. Well, now we're in a creepy dungeon.
Alexander is standing in a dim, damp dungeon cell. The walls and floor are made of gray granite stones. A cot in the corner is the only furniture. A gargoyle peers down maliciously from over the dungeon door.
That's what I'm looking for.
Alexander
That's why I
is
immediately
standing
clicked
in
on
a
this.
dim, damp. Alexander is standing.
Okay.
A plain cot is the only furnishing in the stark dungeon cell.
Well, can we move the cot?
The cot looks uncomfortable, not to mention a little dusty. Alexander decides against taking a nap there.
That's not what I meant, Alexander. Ooh. Can we get descriptive text of the horrible...
Alexander is standing.
Nope. Just more friendly,
Alexander
flavor fauna.
Alexander sees nothing.
Okay. Nah. I don't have anything against spiders, but I've also never had like a big spider land on me.
Opens the dungeon
I've had no
door and
experiences
slips inside.
that would really sour me on the company of spiders.
Mother, where are you?
Oh, kid. I got good news.
What's the matter, little boy?
I'm lost. I can't find my mother. I don't know why she would just leave me here. I've been alone ever so long.
Well,
Mother, where are you?
I got great news, kid. I mean, some great news. There's the bad news, which is that you are dead and so is your mom. But
You must be the son of the spirit I met in the realm of the dead. She gave me this handkerchief and asked me to tell you that she's waiting for you there.
oh, wow.
It's Mama's. It even smells like her. I can feel her now. I know where to go.
That voice
Wait.
is so familiar.
Before you go, is there anything you can tell me about the castle?
I like to play in secret places. In the basement behind the Man of Steel, there's a door. Nobody except me knows it's there anymore. Farewell.
I want to say it's a kid from The Simpsons. But I'm not sure. I don't think it's Nancy Cartwright.
Alexander opens the dungeon door and slips inside.
This one seems bland. Minnie Mouse. Oh my god. This is one of the kids from The Simpsons. No. It's clearly Minnie Mouse. There. Okay, yes. Is this the Man of Steel he's talking about?
Alexander will need to enter the north hallway if he wants to do anything with that armor.
All right. Well,
A closed door on the north wall bears a small brass plaque. The plaque reads, "Guard Room." Uh-oh.
probably we won't go in the guard room.
Alexander examines the suit of armor, but sees nothing special. Alexander examines.
Okay. Yeah, let's Let's find out. Let's find out exactly.
Alexander hears the clear sound of guard dog voices coming from behind the door. He decides opening the door wouldn't be wise.
Oh, what if it's a trick?
Alexander feels his pockets carefully to make sure he hasn't lost anything.
Oh, whoops. Clicked on Alex.
Against his better judgment, Alexander decides to open the door. Somehow, he just knew that wasn't such a good idea.
And where might you think you're going? You'll stay in here until we find out what the Wazir wants to do with you.
The guard dogs leave Alexander to his fate, locking the door noisily behind them.
When he started feeling his pockets, before I realized I clicked on him, and the narrator was like, he's looking in his pockets for something. I thought he's like a clue. Like some common sense, something like that.
Alexander unlocks the door with his skeleton key and quickly makes his escape.
It never hurts to have a skeleton key. We've got stairs up to a door, but we also have a door. What's this door look like? Does
There's
it have
a door on the east wall.
Okay, it's just a door.
Alexander decides to find
Had to
out
steal
what's on
the
other side of that door.
I've seen you around the village. What are you doing in my room?
Wrong room. Sorry.
Not as sorry as you're gonna be. Gods! Gods!
What is it, Jolo?
This man is an intruder. He's probably here to harm the princess.
Don't worry, we'll take care of him. The Wazir will have our heads if he finds out that prisoner escaped. How do you suppose he did it, Ralph?
Well, Hal, I figure he must have had something on him that he used to open the door. That's why I personally searched him.
You did? What'd you find?
Only this funny-looking key. He ain't got it no more, though, now does he?
Ha ha! Good work, Ralph.
Just as Alexander realizes that he has no possible means of escape, he hears the sound of wedding music playing somewhere in the castle.
Confound this dungeon.
That's
I'll
fair.
never be able to stop the wedding now.
'Tis a noble thing to have a means of escape. 'Tis a far, far better thing to never get caught at all. I think I might.
Alexander examines the suit of armor, but sees nothing special.
Okay. Are you sure,
In the
Alexander?
corner is a suit of armor of ancient design. Its right arm beckons slightly. Remembering what the little boy ghost
There we
said,
go.
Alexander experiments with the suit of armor. He pushes down, then pulls up on the knight's right arm. A secret passage.
Here we go.
Alexander hears the sound of voices coming from nearby.
Oh, yeah. I had a feeling as soon as I was just like, the kid definitely specifically said in the basement, so it can't be go up the stairs and find a different steel man. And I was like, you know what? Maybe the narrator just tell me what to do. And indeed, he was so kind. All right, I gotta take a very brief intermission, folks. Just run to the washroom. Hang tight. I'll be right back with you. And we're back. Took another few cracks. Another few cracks at the old ring light. It's not coming back. That's a shame. But that's okay. We're not here for the lighting in the bottom left corner of the screen. So we can still have fun. 51 points to go. Because you did not have the handkerchief the first time? Or, ooh, okay. Without a thing. No, oh no. But you learned something important.
Alexander peers
Yeah.
through the chink in the wall.
Captain, I've been hearing rumors from the guards who've been watching the princess. They say lately she's been pounding on her door and begging to be let out. Ain't none of my business, sir, but news like that is upsetting the other dogs. Ain't no guard in the castle who would willingly keep the princess anywhere she don't want to be.
Alhazred claims that a foreign intruder is here to assassinate her. That's why she's got to be kept under lock and key, right up until the wedding.
Call me an old dog that can't learn new tricks, but I say the princess should be the one giving the orders.
This is very
Alhazred
nice.
has been in charge for months, what with the king's
They're good
death and
boys.
Cassima's mourning. Tonight, the wedding will seal it, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like him or not, he's our liege. Need I remind you of your oath to the crown?
Aye, we've an oath.
But
For
they're
the
good
sake
boys,
of the princess,
so they want to be
we'll
obedient.
not be forgetting it. He'd just better treat her well.
Speaking of the Wazir, what do you reckon he's keeping in that magical room of his?
It's not a magic room. It's just the door he's enchanted somehow. I say he's still got the royal treasury in there, along with whatever else he's so eager to protect. Not even the court treasurer is allowed in there anymore.
I heard him in the hall the other day. He was speaking of that door. Black magic is what I say. I heard him say, Ali, but then Bay came up and started yapping at me.
Enough! It is not our place to question the practices of our liege, no matter how strange. The wedding will be starting soon. Report to the throne room when you hear the music start.
He was speaking of that door. Black magic is what I say. Heard him say Ali, but then Bay. B-A-Y. When he first said it, I was like, what? Like, you know, he's like talking about his girlfriend. Like, Bay came up and, you know, she wanted my attention. Okay. So there's a door to which I must say Ali, but that's not a hint that the secret door is back in that cell because he was not talking to that Ali. Well, let's see. No, Alexander? You don't want to just do what I was obviously asking you to do? There we go. I mean, look, he's doing as well as he possibly can. Look, the royal family of Daventry has learned how to not just cling on to the handrails. They're confidently just taking the stairs now. They've dealt with a lot of trauma.
Alexander hears the faint sound of a woman crying nearby. Alexander peers through the chinks in the wall, trying to locate the source of the crying sounds. Alexander's palms begin to sweat and his heart to race. It's Cassima. He's found her.
Knees weak, palms are sweaty.
Princess Cassima,
What? Who's there?
it is I,
Ah.
Alexander. I'm
Yeah.
here behind this
She
wall.
got her mother's
My,
looks.
How suave that sounds.
Alexander's
Alexander?
The narrator's suddenly Ron Howard
It really
here.
is you. Oh, I knew you were close by, but how did you get inside the castle walls?
It's a long story and not important now. You did get my ring.
It's not that long story.
Yes.
I painted a magic
It
door.
has brought me such comfort, Alexander, to know you were close by and had not forgotten. But you shouldn't be here. You're only endangering yourself.
I don't care about the danger. I would brave anything to learn.
What is it?
Alhazred, do you want to wed him, Cassima?
Come on.
Oh, please believe me when I say that I never agreed to marry that man. Even when my father trusted Abdul absolutely. I never liked him. But with mother and father gone, I'm afraid there's no stopping him.
If you do not wish to marry him, Cassima, you shall not.
I've got great news about your hot mom.
Only come
Your mom.
now, and we shall escape.
How? I cannot fit through this wall. Besides, do you think I could leave my kingdom, my people, in Abdul's hands? But Abdul would tear the castle apart if I were to disappear from my room. You shall have to do what you can to delay his plans from your end.
I can't just leave you here.
Alexander, do not despair for me. I have been safe in this room for nearly 6 months now. Abdul can be in no hurry, whatever he plans. After all, I'm to be his bride, am I not? I have been planning too, you see. I believe I can escape. If I can only get a chance to lay my hands on a weapon, there might be an opportunity in the hustle of the wedding.
But I...
Shh, just a moment more, then you must go. Let us not waste time with words. Please, let me just look at you, dear Alexander.
Well, hold on. Also, would you like this dagger?
Here, take this dagger. It's not much, but it might come in handy.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's not much.
This is just the sort of thing I've been looking for. Thank you, Alexander. I'll keep it close and use it if I must.
Excellent. Can I read you a love poem while we're here?
Now is not the time for idle words of love. The situation is much too grave.
Okay. Anything else that it seems obvious I should give to her? Did you want your ribbon back?
Cassima sent that ribbon to Alexander. It would be rude to return a token of a lady's affection.
Okay.
Oh no! Someone's coming!
The lock on Cassima's door rattles abruptly.
Alexander, hurry! Step away before they see you!
Alexander hears scuffling and a woman's brief cry from the
Really
other side
wild
of the wall. Then, silence.
Lapse of security on Alhazred's part. He's trying to imprison Cassima in her room. Haha. Maybe Roberta Williams and Jane Jensen were trying to teach young men a lesson here about listening to a woman and paying attention to what she needs. Fortunately, I'm 38 years old. As soon as she said she needed if only I had a weapon, I was like, I got you, baby. I hear you. I'm listening. But yeah, like, does Alhazred not know about these secret passages? Has he not gone into Cassima's room once and seen a giant brick missing in her wall? Right. But that still doesn't answer the giant gaping brick missing in the wall. That just seems like something you'd want to seal up just in case.
Alexander hears the sound of scratching coming from the other side of the wall.
They wanted to really make sure. They were playing very fair that you would not accidentally walk past.
Alexander looks through the chink in the wall.
He's just a slovenly guy.
Dear Shadrach, salutations from the Society of the Black Cloak, etc., etc. My long preparations are about to come to fruition. In a matter of minutes, I will wed the lovely Cassima.
Do we think Alhazred wrote ha ha
Once
ha
I've
ha in his
established
letter?
my power and my crown, I can stage another accident. The princess has proven infuriatingly stubborn, as you know.
It's a good thing this guy can't
She's
write without
becoming
saying things out
quite a
loud.
dangerous little thorn in my side.
Oh, just wait till she stabs you in the kidney.
It is a shame I have to kill her. She is lovely and would be amusing to keep around, but I can't risk her talking treason to one of the guards. So far, I've managed to keep her locked away, but I can't continue that forever. Well, on to it now. I'd send her to you, but as you know, I had no luck in doing so with Mordak. I close in triumph. King Abdul Alhazred. I think it's about time to see if Shamir has taken care of the wench as I asked. It's almost time for the wedding.
The Wazir's words fill Alexander with blazing anger and fear for Cassima's life.
That blackguard! That murderous swine! He'll not have his way if I have anything to say about it.
And it is true. Well, I don't know about wedding ceremonies in the Green Isles, but hopefully they involve quickly checking if anyone objects. Okay, so,
There's a vague outline of what appears to be a door on the wall. The old walls are dirty and show the neglect of a forgotten place.
Well, let's see. It's a good epithet for a fairy tale scenario. You blackguard. Can it all be so simple?
Alexander sees...
Sorry, can it be
lots of
all so
black
simple?
Cloaks?
Yes. That. Nice. Well, hold on, Alex.
Alexander crawls back through the wardrobe to reach the secret passage.
No, that's not what I meant, Alexander. I thought maybe, couldn't hurt to have a black cloak. All right. How we doing? 187. 44 points to go.
A canopied bed arranged with silk bedclothes and large pillows stands in one corner of the room. A square red-patterned rug helps protect bare feet from the cold marble floor.
But not enough so that you don't have to step on the cold floor when you get up to pee in the middle of the night.
A storage trunk sits at the foot of the bed. The trunk bears a large brass lock.
Oh, does it?
Alexander inserts the skeleton key in the trunk's lock and turns it. He hears a click. Alexander opens the trunk.
Alexander just doesn't have the... Maybe he dulled the scythe too much while he was hacking through those hedges.
It looks like the owner of this trunk is quite the correspondent. The stack of letters appears to be ordered by date because the top one is dated only a month ago.
No. That's not sound reasoning. You definitely need to look at the dates on more than one of the letters before you can conclude that they're ordered by date.
A few worn leather books occupy the trunk. The top one is entitled Guidebook to the Land of the Green Isle. A book like that might have been a big help when Alexander first arrived. The trunk's owner obviously found it interesting too, for the guidebook is dog-eared and stained.
Let's not think about what those stains
A
are.
small glass bottle filled with oily-looking perfume is in one corner of the trunk. Alexander isn't interested in the oily perfume. Alexander picks up the most recent letter and examines it. The letter is addressed to Abdul Alhazred from the wizard Shadrach. It reads, "Greetings to a brother of the Black Cloak. I was sorry to hear of great Mordak's death, though he was a bit of a ninny at chess. It seems the plans for that little kingdom of yours are coming along. I must congratulate you on your handling of the king and queen. Isolating the islands so that no protest could develop was another brilliant stroke. It looks like there's not much left to stand in your way. Do as I recommended with the girl, and you shall have your crown."
That fiend.
Well, now we have definitive proof that Alhazred's a bad guy. Although you would think that just Cassima... Well, I mean, maybe he's going to put a mind control spell on her or something. Like, surely if she screamed repeatedly during the wedding, "I don't want to marry this guy," the loyal guard dogs would be like, okay, actually, our obligations are clear here.
Alexander opens the ebony box and looks inside.
For a moment, I thought, is he going to open it and then it just vaporizes him? Because then I'll feel silly I didn't save.
Inside the ebony box is a piece of paper with the word Zebu printed on it.
I'm not going to go to spreadsheet with this one. I'll just write it down.
A worn old brush is among the box's trinkets.
Well?
The brush is old and small. Alexander isn't interested in taking it.
Alexander, who, if we recall earlier, instinctively dug through the pawn shop's garbage to steal garbage, is like, this brush sucks.
There's an old bottle of black ink among the box's trinkets. The bottle contains only a small amount of black ink, most of it dried at the bottom. Alexander decides to leave it there.
Okay, sure. I'll trust your judgment, Alexander, but how we doing? 190.
A fire in a small hearth
Drip, drip,
warms
drip.
the bedroom. A candle-lit chandelier lends a soft light to the bedroom.
We will use the hand on the fire, but...
What? And burn a perfectly good hand?
All right. It's just the same old don't burn yourself, Alexander.
The rug is too heavy to lift.
Okay, fine. I understand. Not unlike Quest for Glory. They really just want to make it clear to you, no, this is not a rug lifts up and reveals a trapdoor puzzle. This is not Hugo's House of Horrors. But, like, the way that rugs work, doesn't matter how heavy it is. You can lift the corner of it.
There's nothing under the cushion but the floor.
Yeah, it would be overkill. Okay. I'm just gonna...
Alexander steps confidently out into the upstairs hallway and sees two guard dogs.
Hey, who the...
Hello there.
Don't just stand there. Grab him, Bay.
Hold on, gentlemen. If you would just let me...
I'll bet it's that saboteur fellow the Wazir warned us about. I say we run him through right here and now.
No. Woof. The Wazir will run you through if he doesn't get a chance at the prisoner. Let's put him in the dungeon for safekeeping, then we'll go tell the captain.
Aye, Wolf, you're right. Let's go.
Gentlemen,
You'll stay in
if
here
you
until we
would
find out
just...
what the Wazir wants to do with you.
The guard dogs
Alexander's
lead
too
Alexander
polite,
to
so he
his
won't
fate,
talk over them to
locking
be
the
like,
door
please
noisily
look at this
behind
letter. Okay. Now perhaps this is necessary, but before we assume it is, let's see.
A door leads into the hall. There's a keyhole in the door.
Okay, want to peek through that?
Alexander peers through the keyhole.
There we go. Okay. Let's just watch and see. Are they going to get sleepy? Or are they just gone? Or is this just there to make sure that this is just another way I can know not to go? I gotta go back. I gotta find the secret door that I can talk to. Use the password Ali.
2 guard dogs are patrolling the hallway outside the bedroom. 2 guard.
Okay. Well. This is a great game. Just so like so much smart design.
The secret passage.
Like the pawn shop item exchange gimmick is such a good way to really kind of focus the mind and stop you from you're not overwhelmed with a bunch of different possibilities. Well, Jimmy Stewart impression. Well, that's a very interesting impression for a dog to be doing.
Alexander looks through the chink in the wall. The Wazir's study is now empty.
Yeah, I was saying, Stavitsky, that just like, man, this Alhazred, like, he wants power, but he doesn't care that much about opulence. Or maybe that's it. He's just like, when I light an incense, I want to smell it in every part of the castle. Alex?
Alexander sees nothing of interest there.
Okay, good. In the secret pathways that might be in the walls, I don't know. Nobody knows that there are secret passageways. But if it turns out there are, and I ever go in one, it better smell like sandalwood. Okay. Well.
There's a door at the top of the stairs that must lead to an upper floor. The door has a doorknob and a keyhole.
Let's look through the keyhole then, Alex. That is a logical deduction. The door at the top of the stairs must lead to a room on the upper floor.
There are 2 guard dogs talking in what appears to be a large hall.
Okay, what are they saying?
2 guard dogs are talking in what appears to be a large hall.
Yes, thank you, narrator. I don't know. Okay. I should have written down exactly the description of where this black hidden door is. But it's okay.
Alexander hears the sound of guard dog voices coming from behind the door at the top of the stairs. One of them must be on his way down.
Well then, let's skedaddle. Was it in this dungeon room?
Alexander opens the dungeon door and slips inside. Alexander hears the guard dog leave the basement. It's
right. The alleys are not connected.
Alexander is singularly alone in this den.
Okay.
Alexander opens.
And then was there just nothing to this one?
Slips inside. heavy iron shackle is of no use to Alexander. He'd like to avoid chains as long. The cot looks uncomfortable.
Okay. Oh, wait. It's the door with no knob.
Since the door
Obviously.
on the west wall has no visible knob or handle, Alexander decides to try to open it with his voice. He composes his words carefully.
Zebu? Okay, Ali?
Having chosen his words, Alexander uses them to firmly address the door. The door does not respond.
Okay, because I clicked too many letters. All right, that's fine.
Since the door on the... Having chosen his words, Alexander uses them to firmly address the door. The door does not respond. Alexander hears the sound of music coming from the east. It sounds somewhat classical, but... oh no, it's wedding music. Since the door on the west wall has no visible knob...
Is it?
Listen, door. I would have you open. Ali Zebu.
It worked.
Whew. Okay.
Decorative shields and spears made of gold hang on the treasure room walls.
But they're decorative.
A small table graces the middle of the room. The table is covered by a velvet drapery. The initials AA are embroidered on the drapery.
AA? That must stand for Abdul Alhazred.
Yes, no shit, Alex. Thank you.
Alexander pulls the drapery aside, curious as to what might lie underneath.
It's a dragon or something. Nope. Oh.
On the table is a coat of arms with the head of a beast on the crest.
Beast said that his coat of arms was stolen by the Druids. This must be it.
On the table is a miniature oak tree. It looks very
Stolen
old.
from the Isle of Sacred Mountain.
That must be the sacred miniature oak that the Druids thought the Winged Ones stole.
All right, stolen by the Wicked Ones.
On the table is a strange-looking stone that's giving off an odd, high-pitched noise.
That must be the Isle of Wonders singing stone. Didn't the queens think that the beast had stolen it?
Yes, they did. Can I take these things with me?
Alexander decides to leave the singing stone here in the treasure room for safekeeping until it can be returned to the Isle of Wonder.
Okay, sure.
Alas, the trumpet won't bring these walls tumbling down, and thus is of little use to Alexander.
Can we
Alexander
not think of any use for a trumpet? Like distracting everyone at the wedding? Okay, well. Oh.
On the table is a fleece made of gold.
That fleece must belong to the Winged Ones.
Four
They
islands.
thought the Isle of Wonder had taken it.
Four
As
non-Isle
Alexander
of
looks at
Crown
the
islands.
objects on the table, he realizes the depth of the Wazir's cunning.
That-
It must have been the Wazir or an accomplice who stole that one thing most precious to each island.
Take it on
Then
over to
leaked
Mordavia.
rumors that one of the other islands was responsible.
What did the Wazir have to gain by causing the islands to hate one another?
What? What on earth? What could it be? What could be going on here? I like that Alexander needs to look at... What are you... Alexander, what the...
Alexander hears the sound of music coming from the east.
Oh, was that not a secret stairway in there? I just had to go in there so Alexander could put together that...
Alexander hears the sound of wedding music coming from the top of the stairs. Uh-oh, a guard dog. Alexander's been seen.
Hey, you! You're not allowed down.
Okay.
I think I'm a little lost. I was looking for the wedding and...
Be quiet. The Wizir told us to look out for a saboteur. My nose tells me that's you. Guards!
Alexander watches helplessly as the guards descend upon him.
You'll stay in here until we find out what the Wizir wants to do with you.
The guard dogs leave Alexander to his fate, locking the door noisily behind him.
Ah. Well, perhaps. Can I speed it up fast enough? Oh, my telephone's ringing. One moment, folks. I'll be right back with you. And we're back. Okay. I think the music started playing while I was screwing around. Yeah, hopefully we can figure out the timing on the disappearing guard if this doesn't work. Whoops. Gotta lock the mouse.
Since the door on
Alhazred.
Listen, door. I would have you open.
it worked.
Very good. Detective Alex.
Alexander
Very slowly put the pieces together here. Fortunately,
on the table,
there wasn't a moment where I didn't think there are at least 3 possibilities here that could work.
B said that his...
Yeah, that's what B said. Yeah.
On the table is a...
That must be the...
On the table is a fleece.
That fleece must belong...
As Alexander looks at the...
What did the Wizir have to...
Ta-da! All right. I mean,
Alexander
if nothing
hears
else.
The sound of music coming from the east. It sounds somewhat classical, but... Oh no.
No.
It's wedding music. Alexander hears a door off the north hall.
What does
open.
classical music
The
mean
sound
in
of
this
guard dog
context?
Footsteps. The footsteps are headed this way.
Alexander's like, that's not romantic, that's Baroque.
Alexander hears the sound of a guard's footsteps coming from the north. Wait, there are more footsteps approaching from the west. Now what?
Now we freaking go.
Alexander looks cautiously around the grand hall, but there are no guard dogs to be seen.
Not that cautiously. He didn't peer through the
Music is
keyhole.
coming from behind those 2 large doors.
Oh. Cutting right to the chase.
Prince Alexander, here, the Wizir will have my head for allowing you within a mile of the royal wedding. Since you are of noble birth, I will give you 5 seconds to explain your presence here before killing you. I warn you, it had better be good.
Oh, I've got a good one. I was trying to explain this to the other guards in a different timeline.
Wait. If you love your princess, you'll hear me out. The Wizir is not what he appears to be. Cassima is in terrible danger. I have proof that
Or
this
rather,
is so.
he's exactly
Your
what he
princess
appears
is
to be.
safe. You must believe me.
Let me
You've been
see
rationalizing to yourself.
Saladin reads the letter, his sword point still against Alexander's throat. Alexander watches the guard dog's noble face darken with rage.
This is treason. I'll have his throat. But how do I know this letter is not a forgery? You could have written this yourself.
But I did not. Have you no doubts of your own about Alhazred? Don't you see? All he wants is the crown. Cassima is being coerced. We must stop the wedding.
It is true. I have had my suspicions about the Vizier, especially when King Califim and Queen Alaria died. But I have seen Cassima with him several times. She appears to be quite happy, even enthusiastic. I don't believe she could love him if he truly were so wicked.
I cannot believe for a moment that she loves that snake.
A jilted lover would not believe it. But come,
That's
see
a
for
fair
yourself.
point. Yeah, I mean, he's right.
The captain of the guard
Tell me when
leads
he's telling
Alexander
lies.
into the throne room, where a ceremony seems to be in progress. Alexander feels his blood run cold at the sight.
I, Cassima, declare Abdul Alhazred as my lawful and beloved husband and king of this realm.
But, Cassima, what are you saying?
Do you still claim that the princess is being forced? Perhaps it's you that's the danger, as the Vizier has said.
Well, hold on. Why'd she give me this ribbon? Maybe I'll make them think that I killed myself. To distract them. Maybe I can read her a love poem. I'm going to start with the ribbon.
Saladin has had enough from Alexander. If the guard dog is to be further convinced, Alexander will have to prove that Cassima is not wedding the Vizier of her own free will.
If you refuse to defend yourself, you must have faked the letter. Since you cannot prove your
No.
point, I shall prove mine.
Okay.
Tickets. Oh,
Okay.
next.
Gotta think a little bit harder about how to defend myself.
She loves me not? Alexander hears the sound.
I'll save. Yeah. Oh,
Alexander hears this.
I'm still. Oh, man. This is the one, right? Do I have all the points? Oh, no. Now I'm confused. I gotta double check. If I go back to this one, 194. I made no new save? Come on, man. Or, no. Okay. Okay, fine. Jeez. I was really confident. I'm gonna nail this. There won't be any more challenges I can't overcome instinctively on the first try. I am pretty excited, to be fair.
Since the door on the
Ali Zebu.
Listen, Door.
Listen, Door. I like that the angriest that Alexander has sounded in the entire game is just when he addresses the magic door.
Curious as to what might lie underneath. On the tape. On the tape. On the tape.
That must...
Oh,
On the tape.
That fleet.
As Alexander...
What did the...
yeah. He was mad then, but he like it was a
Alexander
quiet
hears
anger.
The sound of music coming from the
But
east.
just the door.
It sounds somewhat.
Even when he's getting the password right on the first try. he's
No,
like, fuck.
it's wedding music.
I hate doors that don't have doorknobs. Why would you make a door without a doorknob? I don't know, Alexander. Why'd you paint the door without a
Alexander
doorknob
hears the
earlier?
sound of a guard's footsteps coming from the north.
Didn't hear you
Wait,
complaining then.
There are
Now, save a moment. I will save, though. I will. Hopefully. We'll see.
Alexander
Alexander
the
looks.
wedding music is coming from behind those two large doors.
No. Trying the light
Prince
again.
Alexander, here.
She's
the
gone.
Vizier will have my head for allowing you within a mile of the royal wedding. Since you are of noble birth, I will give you 5 seconds to explain your presence here before killing you.
It's
I
true.
warn you, it had better
This
be
point in his
good.
life. Well, you'll find this at least partially persuasive. Perhaps had I
Wait.
taken all
You
the
love your
letters.
princess. You'll hear me out. The Wazir is not what he appears to be. Cassima is in terrible danger. I have proof that this is so. For your princess's sake, you must believe me.
Let me see that.
Saladin reads the letter, his sword point still against Alexander's throat. Alexander watches the guard dog's noble face darken with rage.
This is treason. I'll have his throat. But how do I know this letter is not a forgery? You could have written this yourself.
But I did not. Have you no doubts of your own about Alhazred?
Have you never seen your boss's
All
handwriting?
he wants is the crown.
Like-
Cassima is being coerced. We
Is
must
this
stop
not
the
his
wedding.
letterhead? Like,
It
come
is
on.
true. I have had my suspicions about the Wazir, especially when King Caliphim and Queen Alaria died. But I have seen Cassima with him several times. She appears to be quite happy, even enthusiastic. I don't believe she could love him if he truly were so wicked.
I cannot believe for a moment that she loves that
Yeah, I
A
guess.
jilted lover would not believe it. But come.
There's
see
no
for
reason
yourself.
that Alhazred would be taking any risks.
The captain of the guard leads Alexander into the throne room, where
Okay.
the ceremony seems to be
Here
in
it
progress.
comes. Moment of
Alexander
truth.
feels his
Moment
blood
of
run cold
saving.
at the sight.
Just in
I,
case.
Cassima, declare Abdul Alhazred as my lawful and beloved husband and king of this realm.
But, Cassima, what are you saying?
Do you still claim that the princess is being forced? Perhaps it's you that's the danger, as the Wazir has said.
Perhaps, but I don't know. Okay. Is there an item? Throw the stench flower at her. Just try to snap her out of it. Read her a love poem? Doesn't make any sense. I'll try it in a moment, but last time I tried to give it to the dog. Do I show her the ribbon?
Alexander will have to get closer to the bride to give her anything.
Can I?
Alexander approaches the wedding party.
Oh.
Prince Alexander here? This is an outrage! How dare you allow this traitor to get past you, Saladin? You stupid mutt! Can't you even keep the castle free of assassins during your own princess's wedding? Kill him! Kill him now!
Lord Alhazred, with all due respect, you are not quite king yet. And this is a wedding ceremony, not an execution.
What? How dare you contradict me, you flea-bitten mongrel!
If he had hesitated for even a moment, I would have killed him. But he
Obey
walked
me,
over here.
Or feel my wrath.
Like an honest man.
Milady, I apologize for my behavior, but I am yours to command in all things. I wanted merely to hear your own wishes from your own lips. tell me what it is that you wish me to do with this young man, and I will obey.
Why, Captain, you heard my dear Abdul. If he wishes this atrocious
Hello,
young man's
0351.
death, then I want nothing more than to see him get his wish. Obey thy liege now and always.
As you wish, Princess.
Just as Saladin prepares to run Alexander through with his sword, a shout is heard from the direction of the Grand Hall.
Hold! In the name of the true king.
Oh, right. We saved your parents.
King Caliphim and Queen Ilaria burst into the throne room, looking alive and well and full of wrath. Behind them, a line of supporters look prepared.
Yeah,
to
oh,
battle,
I'm
if
going in
necessary,
order.
for their beloved royal couple.
Played 1 through 5 and most of 6.
Cassima, darling, are you all right? Has he hurt you?
Hands off of her, you murderous goat.
If I want your advice, I'll ask for it, Mother.
But, Caliphim, that's not Cassima. I'd know my daughter anywhere.
What have you done with our daughter, you devil?
The lovely image of Cassima suddenly bursts into smoke and is replaced by the Wazir's genie.
Wait, so I didn't need to...
You conniving serpent!
Get him, guards! Saladin!
So far I've been
go!
playing
Rat it all.
the originals.
You may have ruined my plans, but you won't get me, or your precious Cassima. Get them, Shamir! I command you!
Okay, now it's time.
He's getting away! Stop him!
Yes, sire, as soon as I deal with this genie.
Oh,
Shamir, the Wazir's genie, begins to throw balls of dazzling light at the guard dogs.
oh yeah? Good thing I went crawling through that cave.
Alexander doesn't have time to deal with the genie now.
Oh.
Alhazred has left the throne room and may be on his way.
Okay, fine. Jeez. Really, really poor security work on the genie's part there. Yeah, this is rough. And Alex. Okay, it's stairs. It's the royal family of Daventry. He's going as fast as he can possibly feel comfortable on those stairs.
Alexander, be careful. Alhazred has a sword.
Shut up, wench! Shamir Shamazel! Get in here!
Here I am, master.
It's about time, you bumbling fool! How could you let him follow me?
Well, there were the guard dogs, master, and then...
Never mind! Just kill
Hopefully
him.
those dazzling
Kill
lights
him
were
now.
stun shots.
As you wish, master.
No, hold on. I thought genies weren't allowed to kill.
Razzle, dazzle, snap and snazzle.
Look what I have here, my friend. Peppermint. Nice, fresh peppermint.
Razzle, dazzle.
Forget the stupid peppermint. Don't you dare even think about it.
Mint.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh no!
it's
not
it's
now.
discouraged. It's frowned upon.
Do something! Shamir Shamazel! Kill him!
Send a small, a ball of light to frazzle.
Dazzle Ball goes wild.
Oh. Oh.
You killed my genie. You idiot!
No.
Don't you know how valuable he was? You fool! I'll kill you myself for that outrage.
So shall it be, Alhazred. I'm ready.
Okay.
Inspiration, Alexander fixes upon the only weapon in sight.
Is it really inspiration to just grab the sword?
This sword must weigh a ton.
Good. Then you shall only fail sooner, my prince.
Oh, desperation. I thought he said in a moment of inspiration. Okay, so this is a memory validating moment. Because I've been struggling with the fact that I'm so sure that me and my buddy played this game and beat it, and yet I keep not having a bell rung about it. However, well, let's see. Okay. I remembered sword fighting, basically.
This mouse shall bite, as you shall soon see.
I
Or should
thought
I
it was
say,
going to literally,
soon
the
feel?
double wide thing would suddenly give me a sword cursor.
You can barely lift that sword, my prince. Better to lay it down now. I promise to dispatch you with little pain.
A tempting offer, but I think I'll wait and see what this sword can do.
Suit yourself.
Hit. This is great. Credit to Alhazred. Like, he's ready to get in there. But now
Alexander's arms start to tremble under the effort of wielding the huge sword. His muscles are nearing exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Ha! And so it ends.
Not if I can help it, you murderer!
Cassima thrusts the small dagger into Alhazred's shoulder with all her might.
Ah! You dare raise a finger to me? You will regret that, princess. But I forget. I stalk a kitten and turn my back to a lion. It wouldn't do to let you gather your strength again, my prince.
Maybe if you were a little bit less of a
finishes off Alexander
misogynist.
with one swipe of his sword.
Forgive me,
What?
Cassima.
Okay, so
Alexander! No!
So I missed a moment there where I could click.
Oh. Next.
I thought I only had
Shame.
crown cursor.
Alexander should have been on guard.
Ah, I was too excited. Okay, that's fine. It's a good scene. I'll watch it twice.
So, the mouse would bite?
This mouse shall bite, as you shall soon see. Or should I say, soon feel?
Ha!
This
You can
mouse
barely
hates
lift that
cats.
Sword, my prince. Better to lay it down now. I promise to dispatch you with little pain.
A tempting offer, but I think I'll wait and see what this sword can do.
Suit yourself.
Oh, right. Jeez, I didn't even know. That is a great detail. I didn't notice that the first time. Even though I knew, like, I was waiting for Alhazred to get close to her with his back to her. I wasn't expecting her to just stand up, so I didn't have my eye on her. Yeah, she's the girl for Alex.
Tremble under the effort of
She's the girl
wielding
for
the
our
huge
Alex.
sword. His muscles are nearing exhaustion.
Ha! And so it ends.
Not if I can help it, you murderer!
Cassima thrusts the small dagger into Alhazred's shoulder with all her might.
Ah! You dare raise a finger to me? You will regret that, princess.
Oh, because he's from the royal family of Daventry. We don't really do the killing. Get him with the butt of the
Cassima.
sword handle.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, Alexander. I was just so afraid for you.
There's no need to fear anymore, Princess.
Yes, I know. How can I ever repay you? For myself, for my kingdom.
Could you go slit his throat with the dagger? I'm not big on killing.
Can you find it in you, Princess, to give me more than your gratitude?
Alexander, what are you saying?
I love you, Cassima. Would you ever consider... Do you think you could... marry me?
Could you ever have doubted it, my prince?
Ah. Don't think about her mom. Don't think about her mom.
Oh,
Fellas, come on.
Princess
Actually,
Cassima, are you well?
he's waking up. It's good that you showed up.
quite well, thank you. Please take Abdul and put him in the dungeon. See to it that he gets a doctor.
Yes, Majesty.
At least, give Alhazred this. He submitted with dignity. He dogs it, drag him off while he squealed and complained.
Cassima and Alexander ask Captain Saladin to perform their wedding ceremony.
Ah.
Saladin is honored to do so.
So yes, those were just stun
On this
balls.
historical day of great joy in the land of the Green Isles, we witness the union of Cassima, beloved
Can I break out
princess
the
of
love
this
poem now
realm,
for my vows?
and Alexander, Prince of Daventry. Do you, Prince Alexander of Daventry, take Princess Cassima to be your wife, to love and to cherish for as long as you
Oh.
both shall live?
I do.
That's very
And
cute.
do
I didn't
you,
notice that,
Princess
BJ, but that's a
Cassima
great touch.
Of the land of the Green Isles, take Prince Alexander to be your husband, to love and to cherish for as long as you both shall live.
I do.
Do you have a ring?
I have Alexander's royal insignia ring.
Mm-hmm, you do.
Very good. Please place the ring on Cassima's finger.
Oh. Well, it would have been a great detail.
Who gives this
Yeah, I guess there's no way you could know. It's probably true,
Our
though.
mother and I willingly give our daughter's hand in wedlock.
There we go.
Since the groom has no family present, I will speak on his behalf. Alexander, your union with this woman is sanctioned and recognized in the eyes of the community.
I think he must have been part of the Alhazred
Then, Alexander
usurper
and
regime.
Cassima, I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Congratulations, my children.
That's nice.
I have an important question for you both. Please hear me.
Yes, sire?
Alexander, I welcome you into our family with open arms. I place trust in Alhazred because I so badly wanted a son and a husband for my beloved daughter. I was wrong. But
Yeah.
you are true and
Badly.
good, Alexander. You have proven yourself to all my people.
Thank you, sire.
Olaria and I have been through much. Even though we have returned to our kingdom, I do not think we are able to reign again. Will you two consider the crown? I know as king and queen, you can heal this small kingdom from all the damage that Alhazred has inflicted upon it.
Oh, Father.
Why, I'm honored. What do you think, Cassima?
I love my homeland, Alexander. I would be happy to stay and serve it all my days.
I wish my father were here so that I could ask his advice. I will miss him, and my mother and sister, and Daventry. But I love you, Cassima, and I do feel at home here. Somehow, this land and I seem to suit each other. I don't know what kind of king I'll make, but I accept.
Oh, Alexander, I'm so glad. Between the return of my beloved parents and our new reign, you've made me so happy.
I'm glad I could make
Yeah,
up
wait,
for
did
some
they-
of your suffering, my beautiful wife.
King Alexander, there is a long road ahead. The ferry must be repaired before we can reunite the islands. Your road will be easier now that the islands are no longer feuding. Already the wounds are starting to heal.
Yes, my love. Discovering the island's stolen treasures has done more to bring peace to this land than anything else. It is now clear that Alhazred had Shamir steal each of the island's most valued treasures, then blame the thefts on others to cause the islands to hate each other.
Now,
Just in
let
case
us
you didn't pick
celebrate
up,
our
just
good
in case you didn't
fortune.
understand.
The evil that has plagued this land is done, and a new reign begins. Long live King Alexander and Queen Cassima.
Long live King
Yeah, like we can't send a letter?
Long live Queen Cassima! Long live the land of the Green Isles! Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Can't the Nightingale carry the letter? Can we get some kind of magic mirror communication channel? You know what? There's the thing. His parents will know what happened to him because they can just see it in the magic mirror. But they'll never get to meet their daughter-in-law unless they forsake their home. You're welcome, Roberta and Jane. I had a pleasure playing. Thank you for designing and writing this terrific game. All right, we gotta read the credits, watch the credits at least. All right, thank you also, Mr. Skirvin, Billy D. Skirvin, for your contributions. Oh, especially, yeah, okay. You designed the art, then especially so. Mr. Brayman did great. Adieu. But let's finish. Let's praise everyone in the credits, and then tell me all about it. The art in this game was terrific. Really, definitely the painted backgrounds, like the backgrounds, I think I like better in this than King's Quest V, but just for aesthetic reasons, not because they were actually like some objective step like from King's Quest IV to King's Quest V in graphical improvement, or because there was like any kind of competence flaw in King's Quest V. What I do think, though, is that the sprites look much better in this game, except for Alex at that one angle. Check it out. A professional voice cast who did great work throughout. Kevin and Todd. And Eric, Don, and Chris. All working together to get the lips to move properly. Yeah, I figured. She wrote all the other words. Kind of weird there's no like triumphant happy ending song during the credits, right? This lighting situation is not great. Fortunately for tomorrow, for Ultima Underworld. Oh. How many different endings are there? Ah. So I got the bad ending? Or I got the good ending, but without all of the positive variations. Rain spell to get past them? Yeah. Or I figured that was where we split. And yeah. Good ending, bad variation. Okay. This game had a good system, so good work, system developers. That makes sense. 210 out of 231. Huh. Ah, so Alexander just kind of like sneaks in, gets right down to the wedding. I might play again someday, but it won't be any day soon. So, Yeah. But so like I never used the love poem. I never used the ribbon. So there's a girl in a tower, and I just never. Yeah. It was nagging at me that I never did anything about the lamp. But I guess is that taking the one that's plugged up? Oh, yeah. All right, because I never used the fake death. Ah, okay. So it's really asking you to make a bit of a leap, unless I'm just forgetting dialogue. Oh, the one that I picked, the one time that I traded. Uh, Unless I forget something in the dialogue, it's a bit of a leap to be like, let me befriend this jester with the ring, and it's a bit of a leap. Yeah, that's true. Maybe Alexander it's his prophetic dream, and then also the there's one other thing in there that didn't sound that intuitive. Oh, the fake your death in front of that makes sense. Ah, neat. Right, right. Okay. Fair play. Because, like, it's a bit of a leap to be like, I'll trick. Indeed, I did not. I got right down to business, giving that ring away to get that map. It's a bit of a leap to fake your death in front of Shamir, but not impossible. So wait, did I? Oh, do you never use the ribbon except to get the hair out of it? Or did I use the ribbon and I don't remember? Okay. Well, there. Literally every lingering loose end explained. But you know what? That was pretty good, for a first go. And I can always take comfort in the fact that I got the Paladin ending in Quest for Glory 2, Trial by Fire on my first go. Anything where getting the best ending only depends on being... Well, that too. Hello, Fire Krillin, by the way. I kept trying to come up with reasons that the ribbon would help prove something to... like I tried to give it to Saladin because I thought maybe he'd sniff it and be like, well, you wouldn't have... a thing that smells like the princess if she had given it to you. But instead he was like, you know what? I'm just going to kill you. Yeah. Yeah. Any best ending that only relies on you being an aggressive goody-goody, I'm always going to get on the first try instinctively. Ooh. Oh yeah. And all right, I'm clicking that right now, Clef. Although I'll pause it so I'm not... Boom. In fact... Oh, wait. I shouldn't subscribe to you with this one. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll subscribe from my Dream Street account, though. How the time flies. Well, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to this the speed run you were telling me about. So I got to check both of those out. And now, traditionally, when I beat a game, I share my final thoughts. And I don't think anyone's going to be surprised. I thought this was great. I thought this was a terrific game. I think it is the tightest game design by far. It's not even close of the King's Quest games. And then like the second closest is King's Quest 3. There's something about Alexander. The character of Alexander inspires tightness in the game design. Although I assume also that Jane Jensen played a role in that. But like the island gimmick is a great way to kind of focus the mind on things and kind of make every location stand out. Then you add on to that the item swapping gimmick. Prevents you from being overwhelmed with items and also tells you like, these are the 4 important ones that I really need to think about how they might apply to different things. And so consistently it keeps on popping up and being helpful there. If I was playing at any other resolution, I probably wouldn't have had the struggles of not recognizing there was a book on the bookseller's table until nudged. But at the exact level that I was playing it at, exact size on my screen, it just kind of looked like a smudge. But I don't think that's a fair knock on the game. Fire Krillin. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6 in order. And probably not next weekend, because I think I'm going to take 1 week off and play some more. I'm so close to finishing Adventures of Lola 3. Yeah, and it would have, like, beyond just not getting the good ending, it would have robbed me of the rich, like, I loved in King's Quest 3 having that spell book. And that callback, I really, really appreciated. And then, yeah, like I wouldn't have got to go to the underworld, meet the comely mother, Queen Ilaria, who was some alluring sprite work indeed. Yeah. And then the writing was terrific. Like playing this game as it went along, I was suddenly like, all right, so yeah, fair. That makes sense. Fair play, Roberta and Jane. But yeah, that monologue was incredible. That was the exact moment where I was like, well, I got to play the Gabriel Knight game someday because I just need to read more things I need to hear more words that Jane Jensen wrote in my life. So those will come up sometime. Yeah, probably not next week, but the week after I'll start King's Quest 7, The Princeless Bride. And then sometime after that, I will play King's Quest 8 for completion's sake. Does that have a subtitle? I'm not familiar with what the subtitle is if it does. Yeah, really, really, really good writing. Like, it's not that there was good writing in some of the earlier games in the sense of like the item descriptions are well written. Right, Mask of Eternity. Thank you. They ditched the numbering. Well, they ditched the numbering and they ditched even any attempt at all to have a clever subtitle. We go Romancing the Throne to Heir is Human to The Barrels of Rosella. Indeed. Thank you for following, Fire Krillin. The rep grows bigger. To King's Quest 5, Absence Makes the Heart Go Yonder, to Heir Today, Gone Tomorrow, to The Princeless Bride, to Mask of Eternity, which just sounds like it's a game that may or may not be cool, but doesn't have that King's Quest flavor. And indeed, like it sounds like in a lot of ways it's not going to have that King's Quest flavor. I'm still going to do it. Yeah, if they had delayed King's Quest 8 into the early 2000s, it would be just called King's Quest Ascension. Ooh, that's exciting, Clef. Yeah, I became aware that King's Quest 7 even existed much, much later. Like, I would have been 19 or so because my girlfriend at the time's dad had it. But I looked at the box, but I never played it. So that's the only thing I know. And I saw one clip of one scene without even audio while watching an interview with Roberta Williams once on YouTube. So other than that, I'm going in super blind. That sounds right to me. But I guess we'll find out. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it works. Because I know that a lot of people think that King's Quest 7 was a misstep, but I don't think it has anywhere near the reputation of Mask of Eternity in that sense. Nice. Well, yeah, that's going to be fun. Another thing I want to say about so the earlier King's Quest games had good writing in the sense of like well-written descriptions, some fun ideas of making you think through puzzles with fairy tale logic. King's Quest 3 actually is the only one at that point. Like, it was introduced the idea that you're actually in a story. Like, there's a scenario here that's not just you've gone to the place, now find the things and solve the puzzles. King's Quest 4 introduced like a bit of a scenario progression through the day. King's Quest 5, in some ways a step backwards and in some ways a step forward in terms of story. It's a much more just kind of, go over the mountain, cross the sea plot. But obviously it's the first one with like some real meaningful dialogue, but it wasn't that meaningful. It's very much kind of like, what if King's Quest 2 had much higher production values? And then this game, all of a sudden, we have characters. And we learn things about them, not just through what they say, but what they don't say, or like how they say it, or the actions they take and the exchanges they have. And in particular, I just thought they did a terrific job. Alexander is what... Hey, the Royal Rumble's tonight. What professional wrestlers in professional wrestling, Prince Alexander is what would be called a white meat babyface. He's got no edge whatsoever. He's the good guy. But he doesn't have edge. And the Royal Rumble doesn't have edge either, because Adam Copeland's in AEW now. But what he does have... Quick aside, Clef. I won't drag everyone else into too much wrestling talk here. Someone's got to tell Taz that on commentary. But poetic that CM Punk not only is his first match back in WWE 10 years to the day from his last match when they're both the Royal Rumble, but his first match back is immediately after Vince McMahon is destroyed forever like he deserves to be. Fuck yeah. That's very nice. Feel good about that. So, oh my goodness, is it ever? But we don't need to get into that. And folks, if you don't care about wrestling, just trust. He's personal friends with Donald Trump. And that probably tells you enough. You don't need to read. You don't want to read the details. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Just horrifying shit. Horrifying stuff. And anyway, so that's that. But yeah, Alexander's a white meat babyface, but like he's not bland. He's an actual character. Like he has traits. We learn about him through his words, and frankly, I think he's admirable. Like he's a really likable character who takes other people seriously and cares about them, even when getting Beauty to go to the Isle of the Beasts is what he must do to prevent himself from being cursed forever. He doesn't give her the hard sell. Oh man, I mean, I don't like that either, because I mean, geez. The Montreal Screwjob. Yeah, that's not fair. Like, given that King's Quest is a fairy tale world, he has more impetus for his love of the princess than the typical fairy tale prince does when he goes to rescue her. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a really bad call. Yeah, he doesn't give Beauty the hard sell. He's in fact just like, you know that like this is a big decision, right? And then he's like, you know, and I know, and then when he's like, I know that it can be hard to leave your home, even if home is not a happy place. It's just such a, this was a really, really, really great game. Playing it was fun. The puzzles were fun. I thought they mostly played pretty fair and were often quite clever. Like most of King's Quest V, I thought played fairer than its reputation, but I didn't think any of it was even a little bit clever. Whereas this was very clever, often. And even sometimes when maybe even especially at times when the solution to a puzzle became immediately clear to me as soon as it opened up, then was when it seemed the cleverest of all. So just outstanding. And the important detail, Fire Krillin, you can decide that, and it turned out that she also thought it was a great idea, and you're both very happy and you got what you wanted. Yeah, exactly, Cedric. Like, King's Quest V was very much just like click the one thing on the other thing in the obvious way, or click the one thing on the other thing in a way that isn't in any way obvious. Click the harp on the Ice Queen because you got to try something. I would probably have been annoyed by that if I'd tried that, Clef. Because yeah, that should make him be like, hey, it's a bird. But for the most part, like, yeah, some of those puzzles did it. Some of those gnomes and some of the puzzles did have multiple solutions. The 2 paths is very clever. The variations within, very cool. The thing that I missed, I'm sad that I missed, but sounds very cool. And overall, I give this a yeah, absolutely. That it really was. Yeah, I give this game a very enthusiastic thumbs up. This was definitely my favorite King's Quest game so far. Although I did love King's Quest 3. I mean, I enjoyed every single one of them. But if I had to rank them right now, I would say King's Quest 6, King's Quest 3, King's Quest 4, King's Quest 2, King's Quest 5, King's Quest 1. We'll find out soon enough where 7 and Mask of Eternity slot in there. And one moment. Open this up. Oh, wow. They made, I wonder if the actor got to keep the awesome green jacket. They actually made it for him and everything. I guess because it's all digitized. So he needed it. You can't just draw it later. Like, we're cleaning this up probably, but we're not drawing it literally. Well, yeah. Thanks, Roberta. Thank you, Jane. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. You're correct, British, that the most important thing at the end of the day is enjoying games because you're playing them because they're fun. And I enjoyed the hell out of this one. So, like I said, next week, I think I'm going to keep on pushing on in my Adventures of Lolo 3. 30 years now, I've been making my way through that game with somehow never once submitting or my will breaking, and I look at a puzzle solution. And I think I'll be actually beating it fairly soon. Probably not next Saturday, but it's not going to take too many more tries. So that's exciting. Check it out. Tomorrow, it'll be later in the evening by my time, Atlantic time zone. But I'll be playing Ultima Underworld 2, Labyrinth of Worlds, which is also coming to a head. I don't think I'm going to win tomorrow. I'm very confident I won't. But there's not that much left to do. And the game has been great so far. I'm really looking forward to it. Even if I'm also excited to get it done so I can move on. That is a real life calendar time complaint and not this game itself is overstaying its welcome complaint. Because it's terrific. I really like it, and it's coming together pretty well. We're getting very close. Only one more world to reveal, only one place of power to find in the worlds we have revealed, and then the one in the world yet to be revealed. It's all coming to a head. We're going to foil that Guardian. Tuesday evening, my dear friend Greg will be over here, and we'll be playing some more obscure arcade beat-em-ups, We played China Gate and POW Prisoner of War last week, and they were both pretty cool. China Gate in a, like, wow, this is much, much, much different than any game that we've played yet in our beat 'em up series. And POW in a, well, this is actually kind of just really straightforward stuff, but it's quite well executed. Had fun with both of those. We'll be doing some more late 80s arcade beat 'em ups that you have probably very well may not have heard of, because we've done all the notable ones. And so I'm looking forward to that. Bit by bit, we're becoming the most experienced beat 'em up players who have ever lived. And then, next Friday, hopefully, because we thought we were going to get more in last night, Friday Night Frosthaven. But then Rich, who was at a track meet, because he's a track coach, the triple jump just apparently took forever. Everything was on schedule, and then he just kept texting us like, I don't know, they just keep raking the pit. No one's jumped for 15 minutes, and eventually we had to give up. And before you know it, it's Saturday. We're playing Lolo, and then a fortnight hence, King's Quest VII, The Princeless Bride. Tomorrow, I'll put the one remaining functioning ring light over here to improve the lighting a little bit. And probably by next weekend, I will have a new ring light. And we can get back to the good old times of lighting my face properly. We shall. Oh, we're going to squeeze real hard. A total different kind of puzzle solving. Pure logic. It's going to be very difficult. Now, every time I see him, I'm going to be like, hey, it's Lolo. Lolo and Gweno. Well, there you go. Awesome. Thanks for sticking around, folks. Hey, if you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, can't hear my voice, but I'm glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time that we're in the green aisles forever and we can never come home, take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.